Greetings, Brother Ravana Noon here, representing the Black Serpent Clan. Today's discussion comes about due to these articles that I've been studying and reading lately. This article really got me thinking. This article basically is about suppressing the demonic feminine. And on the left-hand path, how it is actually still suppressed at times as well. So let me go a little further into what I mean about how the demonic feminine power is suppressed. Like, for example, I'm not sure if you all are aware or not, but most of the books on demonology, not all, but most of the books on demonology are written by male occultists, masculine male occultists, who are right-hand path occultists. See, people get this idea that just because you're an occultist that you're automatically left-hand path. That's a misnomer that I'm going to correct here today. No, you're not. The occult world is also divided into right-hand path and left-hand path work. And we have to keep this in mind. When you look at all publishers like Llewellyn's largely responsible for a lot of this bull crap, and so are some of the other publishing houses. They tend to publish right-hand path occultist material. Maybe because it's still friendly to the religious individual. Maybe it's because it's not so shocking, but it's not really going into the left-hand path and demonology on the left-hand path. So a lot of these books on demonology are written by right-hand path male occultists, and they mostly focus, if you ever notice, they mostly only focus on the demonic masculine energy. They don't really speak about female demons. They don't really give you rituals to work with female demons. And this is doing a disservice to women on the left-hand path. Particularly women who want to work with demons. Most of the time we hear about Beelzebub, Asmodeus, Abaddon, Lucifuge, Mammon, Moloch, etc. And then when they do mention female demons, they always mention Lilith as the demoness of hell. But in passing, not really too much detail. And that's a disservice to females on the left-hand path, because you want to work in totality with the demons to bring forth a harmonious integration between the masculine and feminine energy within yourself. You should be able to work in totality and equally with both the masculine and feminine demons in your work. So they do omit Nama, Sanaline or Sanayin, Varine, Asphaltita, Unsiri, etc., etc., etc. And that's because, like I said, most of these books are written by right-hand path individuals who are occultists. One of my jobs when I started really teaching on left-hand path or sharing information on left-hand path 10 years ago has always been to uplift the demonic feminine. This is why you'll go back through my videos. I've had female guests do presentations, do lectures, discussions, things of that nature on my channel. Because I understand that there has to be an integration there between the masculine and feminine. And a lot of the demons I work with tend to be on the feminine, not just the masculine. When I work with the masculine, of course, I work with the archetype of Lucifer, Abaddon, Belial, and Samael are my 4 go-to demons that I work with that are masculine. Feminine is Nama, Lilith, Tiamat, things of that nature. Now, we have to keep this in mind as we go forth, because as Luciferians, as black magic practitioners, as a black adept, those on the left-hand path, as demonologists, and practitioners of the infernal arts. And one thing I noticed years ago is that the suppression of the demonic feminine, because females have latent power and potential within them that tend to never surface because of the outright agenda to suppress that. Why? Because most men, not all, but true masculine divine warrior men are not afraid of this. But most men are afraid of the demonic feminine power, because when a woman's demonic feminine power reaches out, activates and comes forth, she'll start to unmask these men for being nothing more than scared, coward sissies. And so men are afraid of that happening. They're afraid of being made into sissies when it's already part of their potential or their nature to be a sissy. So they have to suppress that part in you, the feminine, the demonic feminine particularly. Now, as a female, you can work with and should work with masculine demons or demonic energy that is masculine in nature. But to integrate yourself as a whole in the demonic current, you should work with the demonic feminine and the demonic masculine. That is bringing a total integration within self. That is not ignoring self. That is not suppressing a part of yourself. That is completely bringing you into totality. Now, do not get it twisted. A lot of these demonic feminine archetypes or energies or gods or God, whatever you want to call these things, because there's so many divisions and definitions that causes more debate and separation than just realizing I'm working with it. Okay? But the main thing is this. Not all the feminine or demonic feminine energies are sexual in nature. Yeah, that's part of aspect of them, but there's some that are destructive. There's some that are transformative. There's some that are chaotic. And they cause different results and bring about different results depending on what it is that you're working with or for. So keep that in mind as you go forward. Okay? Because what we tend to do is we have this habit of thinking that, oh, it's because it's a female demon, it has to be sexual in nature. There's more to a female than sex. Although I will say that a large part of what's been suppressed in a woman is her sexuality. Most women have had their sexuality suppressed to the outright max. And so I understand that that is one of the first things that will come out in a female, because it's been suppressed to such a degree that it doesn't allow you to be alive, to feel free, to be yourself. So you tend to hide or suppress your fantasies, your desires, and things of that nature. And like I said before, you tend to do that because your man is really not that much of a masculine person. He's more of a sissy hiding within a meat suit that appears to be a hard, strong alpha male. Not true. A real man is not afraid and scared by your sexuality. They will actually embrace your sexuality and allow you to feel free expressing your sexuality. But there's more to you than that. Okay? But I understand that is one of the first things that's going to come out of you when you work with this path. On the left-hand path, demonic or demonology, demonolatry, demonic sorcery, whatever you want to call it. Demonic magic. So many damn names that we have to divide and describe things, but hey, that's what it is. Okay? Let me say this. When you work with Nama, it enhances your sensual side as a woman. It brings that out because that's a part of what's been suppressed. Lilith empowers you on all levels, not just sexually. She empowers you on the path of destruction of the things that you no longer need in your life. Internally, it'll destroy the very blockages, obstacles you have, destroy your programming, destroy all these things. And externally, will lead to destroying many things that no longer serve you or are needed in your life. So Lilith works on multiple levels, not just sexually. Ibizu brings forth that power within that Luciferian witch. Okay? Now, I'm also say this, and I said it before, more male practitioners on the left-hand path, whether you're Luciferian, Satanist, necromantic, you do necromancy, you work with the draconian current, you need to do more work with the feminine, with the female demons. I do a lot of work with Lilith, Nama, Kali. I go a lot into that because I understand the process of integration is necessary to bring about a more integrated equilibrium within my existence. But as a man, when you work with the demonic feminine, it helps enhance your psychic abilities, telepathic, clairvoyant abilities, which is sometimes found to be more innate in a woman due to her being the vessel that brings the child forth. Okay, but do not get it twisted. The problem happens when we get one-sided. And then women get into left-hand path or get into demonic work or things of that nature, and then they go completely feminine, and you're doing yourself a disservice because you're forgetting that you have to bring integration between the feminine and the masculine within you, and even externally. And then they go to the extreme. They don't need a man. They don't need this. They don't want this. This is that. But then you come to us when you want some dick. And a lot of times if you don't want the dick and you want another woman, a lot of times she tends to be studdish and masculine in appearance. Which means you still some way, somehow, subconsciously seeking a dick. She's just now wearing a dildo or strap-on. It's another story. For another video, another day. However, as a man, you should work with more demonic feminine energy. You should. Everything cannot be Abaddon, Lucifer, or anything else, or etc., etc. It has to be demonic feminine in there as well. Some people on the left-hand path, and this is why they also need to do more work within themselves, are also sexist in their opinions, in their philosophies, and their views. I don't tolerate that bullshit, so don't bring it this way, because I will smash you. Okay? Keep this in mind as you go forward. Because I'm going to go deeper into this path, because ever since last year, when I did the Papa Legba ritual, which, yes, this is how it works. This is how this energy can work. I did a Papa Legba ritual, the group ritual. And since then, I've been strong and heavily into the Luciferian Draconian current. Now, go figure. For some, you may not be able to make sense of it, but that's how the current works. Papa Legba in the original form is a form of a Luciferian energy or Luciferian current. It is a form. You may not understand it because you're still traditionalist. You still view things from a traditionalist mentality. But that's the case. Since then, I've been heavily into doing Luciferian, demonic, draconian work. So I'm going more into the demonic teachings and rituals, for I see the benefit of it. I see the strength of it. I see why it's necessary. And I see why certain things should be discussed or clarified for sake of clarity for people. Now, let me get this straight. Again, I'm going to reiterate. It's not all about the sex on the left-hand path. You indulge, but with restraint. That doesn't mean you just indulge sexually. Don't get it twisted. Indulging could also mean I want to travel. So I'm indulged in my traveling desires. Traveling the world. Going here, going there. Meeting new people. Etc., etc., etc. It can mean that you want to emphasize your sensuality as a female and dress more sexy. You can do that. Show off your curves. Show off your assets. But do not get so caught up that it's all about sex when it's not. Because there comes a point in time on this left-hand path when you will transmute the sexual appetite, the sexual interaction, transmute it to something more of a higher degree, of a higher sublime nature. And through sex, you will understand more power that comes leading you to different levels of rituals that are not just focused on your sexuality. But it is necessary that I discuss this today. Because, like I said, I was reading an article and I do notice that a lot of these books are written by males who tend to still be on the right-hand path. Just because you work with the Goetia does not make you a demonologist or work in demonolatry. The Goetia still has a very strong right-hand path tones to it. Very strong. As a matter of fact, many of the names of the Goetia are either in Latin, some are in Hebrew, some are in Greek. And I have news for people. The demons and the demonic language is not Latin. That is still a part of the monotheistic mentality. It's not Latin. Satan is not Latin. The word Satan is not Latin. It's a Hebrew word. A lot of these names of the Goetia can actually also be found in Arabic for names of the jinn, and they correlate with each other. Because Hebrew and Arabic predate the Latin language by many years. So some of the Goetia, what you're calling the Goetia, and using Latin and Greek names for them, some are Hebrew names, can be found in Arabic and Hebrew, and much older. Hebrew, the demons do not have a particular man or a human language that is spoken. They could use any one of these languages to communicate with you, but they have their own language. The more you do work with the demon, the more you will understand. And they will also speak to you in the language of your common tongue. Meaning if you speak mostly English, that's how you will communicate with demons. English. If you speak Spanish, you will speak and communicate to the demons in Spanish, and they will communicate with you in Spanish. If you speak a logata arabiyata, that's what they'll speak to you, and is in Arabic, but you'll interpret it as the jinn. So stop caging and boxing everything and thinking that you're so deep and demonic because you work with the Goetia. The Goetia are very light and right-hand path compared to real demonology or demonolatry or demonic sorcery work. It goes much deeper than the Goetia. I'm just saying, you will discover that more. If you really want to do some serious demonic work, you will discover that more. And you will see that it actually goes deeper than the Goetia. Latin and these in Greek, in these languages, it predates all of those languages. Okay? One last thing. To work with demons, I'm going to leave you this thought because this is going to segue to another video I'll do another day. To work with demons, before you even actually start to do a ritual, meditate on the demon. Meaning, if you want to work, let's say, Abaddon or Belial, you would meditate on Belial. Meditate on the characteristics, attributes, and powers of Belial. Meditate on the sigil of Belial before you actually partake in doing a ritual. Why is this necessary? Because it will assist you in building a relationship with that energy. Assist you in connecting and understanding that energy, so that when you actually do some ritual work, you will be stronger in that ritual because you've made contact, you've made a connection, so you understand how that energy works, moves through you, moves in you and around you. So when you do the ritual, it will be a smooth flowing ritual. You won't have to constantly think or second guess what you're doing. It just flows. It just flows. So I'm going to give you this tidbit because the next class I may do a live class, or I may do a recorded video. Start meditating on whatever demon you are resonating with, that you're attracted to. Study everything about it. Then meditate on what you studied about. And you will understand why I say this. We're not on this conscious coon crap anymore. Okay? This conscious crap where we just regurgitate a bunch of information we studied and read and never damn apply one thing in your life. See, people talk a lot of crap because they've read a lot of books, but you can tell if they really live it by practicing it, by applying it, by actually doing the work. And I'm not just talking about doing rituals where you do love spells, money rituals, work with fairies, use little powder puff dust. Anybody can do that with enough practice. You'll be able to get results doing that too. But a lot of those results are temporary, short-lived, and not what magic is in totality about. Magic in totality is to transform the inner so that the outer naturally attracts and comes to you without the blockages and obstacles you presently have within you. If you have problems right now attracting things into your life, you have a blockage. If you have problems in relationships, there's a blockage in you. If you feel that you struggle in certain things in your life, there's blockages there. So you need to do internal work in order for the external to be smoothly and abundantly attracted to you. I could do a love spell, money ritual, and get results like this. Been doing it for years, understand it, can do rituals, create rituals on the fly. But to be a true master of magic, to truly live magic or sorcery, is to transform yourself from within so that you are the walking altar. You are that vortex of energy that attracts all these things into your life naturally and abundantly. All right. I'll see y'all again. Dark blessings. We will speak soon.